They don't like it. They don't like it that we're on the cover of Madden. They don't like it that we're confident in Caleb Williams. They don't like it that we know we're the shit.
First time they won a playoff game since 2010, so it was a pretty magical year to say the least. But it didn't start out that way, as after the first 2 weeks of the season, they were 0-2 as they lost 2 division games, one of which was a blown double-digit lead to the Vikings on Monday Night Football, and the other was a 31-point loss to the Lions in Week 2. Now, with the 2026 Bears and how they attack their offseason, I feel like there is an elephant in the room, and it's their pass rushing situation. Their top 4 edge rushers entering 2026 are Montez Sweat, Dayo Odeyingbo, Jeremiah Martin, and Austin Booker. And I understand the concern entering this year, but even with the concern they have with their pass rush, I still think this team has a high floor for a few reasons. We saw firsthand how much this fan base turned around in 1 year, having Ben Johnson as the team's head coach compared to Matt Eberflus. And
Definitely.
in Ben Johnson's first year as the team's head coach, they finished 3rd in yards per carry as a team, 3rd in rushing yards, and had the least amount of turnovers of any team in the NFL. Now,
Definitely.
there is a part of this to where you can think the Bears are going to regress in 2026 that will inevitably affect their record this year, and that, of course, is turnover margin. Chicago forced 33 turnovers last year and had an NFL best plus 22 turnover margin, which I do think is fair to say, and I would be shocked if Bears fans didn't agree with this. They're probably not going to have a plus 22 turnover margin 2 years in a row.
No, definitely not. Honestly, a lot of those picks, like, they were good picks, but a lot of shit just has to go your way for that many interceptions, that many turnovers to go your way. So I don't think we're going to have that many turnovers. I would really trade the turnovers for us to have a solid defense that can stop the run and force them to pass, and then we can really lock in on a pass defense. That's what I would really want. Because we've been getting ran all over for a few years now. You know, it's get kind of scary. It gets kind of bad, you know? So hopefully we can get that sewn up, and I'll really trade the turnovers for that. I'll be happy.
But the biggest thing with this team, as cliche as it is, are you going to bet against a team coached by Ben Johnson and quarterbacked by Caleb Williams regularly? And the answer to that is no, because the bottom line with this team, with who they have at quarterback and who their play caller is, if they get to the 4th quarter and the game is within 10 points, there's a chance the Bears win. They know
Definitely.
it, and their opponents know it too.
Definitely.
But I don't want this to come across as their success only being a product of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson knows firsthand how important the run game and offensive line play is, which is why Chicago made it such a priority last year to rebuild their trenches the way they did. And guess what? It worked. Having center Drew Dahlman retire certainly threw a wrench in their plans for the 2026 season.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Their
That was
offensive
crazy.
line is still good because of guys like Joe Thuney, the 2025 Protector of the Year, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright. And I'm also excited to see how Ozzie Trapillo plays in year 2. But one of the other reasons Chicago is, and why I think they will continue to be successful offensively, is due to the emphasis on the 2-back usage with DeAndre Swift
Definitely.
and Kyle Monangai, the same way the Lions did under Ben Johnson with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And of course the receivers in Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, who I believe is a budding star, and tight ends Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. Also shout out to 3rd-round rookie Sam Roush, who will help in the run game too. So when you look at the
You know what the craziest part about that is? A lot of people are going to be like, oh, you don't have a real number 1 receiver. You don't have a real stud. Let me tell you something. Rome or Luther can be number 1 right now. We're not going to play any games. We're not going to play those games. They can be number 1 right now, depending on like who comes out better in camp. But truthfully, I feel like the main thing is I love about the offense that we can throw to so many different people each week and we can get everyone involved. So if we don't have a 1,000-yard passer or a receiver, that's cool. As long as we can get everybody involved and we can win, I don't really give a damn. That shit overrated. Fuck. But I don't give a damn if this nigga wrong or Luther don't get 1,500 pass receiving yard. I don't give a damn. As long as we can go what? We go undefeated and that shit don't happen. I'm cool.
2026 Bears offense, a team that in theory should only get better with the continuity in Ben Johnson's offense, along with younger players getting better over the course of the offseason and their careers, assuming relative good health, of course. What do you really think this team's floor is offensively? Top 12? Maybe 13th or 14th on the extreme low end? This is a very good team that has completely flipped everything around in a little over 365 days. Sure, maybe they're not Super Bowl favorites, or maybe they don't get there this year, but with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, and with how high of a floor this team has offensively, I would be very surprised if this team does not go to at least one Super Bowl in the next 5 years. The
Definitely.
Lions are up, and one of the biggest things I'll hammer home with the Lions as we enter 2026 is I thought a regression from a win-loss standpoint from 24 to 25 was inevitable. And you can go back to the 2025 Lions team preview. I said it then. I still thought that they were a Super Bowl caliber team, but I thought it was going to be a clear regression year in the sense of them not being able to repeat 15-win seasons. And that also applied to the Minnesota Vikings. I did not think they were going to have back-to-back 14-win seasons. But the way the Lions lost games last year, I thought was very almost anti-Dan Campbell-esque Lions losses. They were very much, at times, I can't believe we're in this situation as a team. And I know Lions fans were very much frustrated with how the season played out. They were very frustrated with the offensive coordinator going from Ben Johnson to John Morton.
I'll be honest. I think that he's a great leader of men, but I don't think Dan Campbell is going to win you a championship. Sorry. Don't think Dan Campbell is winning you that chip. Don't think, I think he's a culture rebuilder for sure, but he's a culture rebuilder to pass it off to another guy, and that guy's going to win you the championship. Gotta be real. Gotta be realistic about this shit sometimes, because Ben Johnson was his bread and butter. Lost him.
Dan Campbell-esque Lions losses. They were very much, at times, I can't believe we're in this situation as a team. And I know Lions fans were very much frustrated with how the season played out. They were very frustrated with the offensive coordinator going from Ben Johnson to John Morton was quite the shock. And at times there were games where I don't think the 2024 Lions would have lost, especially in the manner they did. And for me personally, watching this play out in real time, this was a team that had not lost back-to-back games since early in the 2022 season. And there were graphics all throughout the couple of loss span they had from week 15 through week 17 when they lost 3 in a row to the Rams, Steelers, and Vikings that this was the first time in over 3 years that they lost back-to-back games. I would be kind of surprised if they lose more than 2 games in a row this year. Again, because of how good of a team and how good of a roster this is. But
the roster's only as good as you know how to utilize it. Isn't that right, huh? So truthfully, I still think that the Lions are a contender. I feel like they're a dark horse, and more of a dark horse like the Vikings, in my opinion. Jared Goff can throw for 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And I'm still going to be like, I just don't fuck with him. I just don't think he's the guy that's going to lead you to a championship. I've just been saying that since he got, traded to the Lions. Really, when he was on the Rams, they lost him the Super Bowl. That's why I've been saying that shit. Just being honest with you. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. I'm very brutal. So, hopefully, they can make a playoff run. But, as long as the Bears can win a division or get into the playoffs, I'll take either one. Of course, winning a division is a talking shit title. But either one is cool, man. As long as we can make it to the playoffs and beat one of these fuck niggas in the playoffs, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, we run the North. If you want to get the North, you got to go through Chicago. You know that. They know that. We all know it.